I first spoke at the April meeting along with other concerned community members, asking Port Washington leaders to slow down and consider the ramifications of their hasty actions. The people begged the leaders to consider the energy, environmental, quality of life impact from this hyperscale data center. The leaders refused to listen throughout this entire process. But tonight, a few of you are called to represent the will of the people. Many people will be impacted directly by the high voltage wires running through their properties and farms based on bogus eminent domain claims for billion-dollar big tech companies. In only a few days, over 1,000 of the city of Port Washington voters said they want this brought to a referendum. Saukville, on the other hand, will have an advisory referendum on residential chickens. But the all-knowing mayor and council in Port Washington felt only they should decide on a $15 billion project that impacts this entire region. Oracle and OpenAI are worth more than $1 trillion combined. Vantage knew how to close this deal, move fast, publicly share the minimum amount of information possible, and do the political deals in the dark. If big tech cared about this community, they would have structured a community benefit agreement that provides funding for Port Washington and Saukville schools, funding to pay for the $30 million plus municipal building, an agreement to fund the buried power lines to protect the rural landscape and lessen the risk to livestock and human health, and a guarantee in place now, not potentially in the spring, ensuring energy costs do not rise. Instead, we are not seeing any major tax benefits until we pay Vantage back for infrastructure that supposedly the city needs, estimated to be 18 years from now. If it wasn't for this project, this massive infrastructure would not be needed. Vantage should be paying for all of this. Of the $460 million TID, almost $190 million is interest charges to the city owes to Vantage. Folks, 40% of the TID is interest charges back to Vantage that should have been tax revenue for the city. That when you take the TID less the interest charges, it's only 1.8% of this project. They must have loved negotiating with you guys. Your vote tonight carries a lot of weight for the entire region and for generations to come. If you aren't 100% confident that this is the best thing for this community and region, vote no tonight and put the power back to the people to move forward with a referendum. Let's just take a quick poll. How many in this room are concerned on any level about this project?
Hear, hear.
Sure looks like the will of the people to me. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, thank you once again for having us here for yet another edition of Kabuki Theater, where we tell you what we want you to do and you pretend to care. Again, without notes, as always. And there's nothing I could even add. The people who have already spoken have given you really clear, really unequivocal reasons why we don't want this. And we don't want this, make no mistake, we don't want this. And this is not just my subjective experience, this should be a public record. This should be a matter of public record. In case anyone in the room is still confused about this, this is not just me and all of my friends. It's not just all of my neighbors on my street. Literally every single neighbor on our cul-de-sac. It's not just my entire family, it's not just everyone I know. It is everyone in the city is opposed to this, minus a handful, a very small minority of people who are going to profit from this. The people selling their farms, and you 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 and you. Right, we're not that stupid. Don't do this. Don't sell out our town. It's a beautiful town. This is our home. It's the only hometown I'll ever have. You know, this guy right here gave a great statement, and he said, at some point, boy, these guys must have loved negotiating with you, because the deal you cut for us is that bad, and he's not wrong. But you know what? There's a matter that isn't like part of the public record, and they were gleeful at the negotiations they were able to execute with you when they went into that closed door meeting. All those closed door meetings with each of you individually, with their high-powered lawyers, their PR execs who assured you you wouldn't fail. The money they gave you that's now sitting in your ill-gotten offshore accounts, when you go to bed at night, just remember they would have given you 10 times more. You idiots. You fucking idiots.
Okay, you're done. You can walk away now. No, you
I'm
are
outta
finished. You
I
are
am
finished, sir.
outta
You
here.
are finished. You can warn.
You are-
every councilman. You can walk away now.
The IBEW Local 494 firsthand experience working with inside major Wisconsin data centers built, including like Microsoft project. I'm here to raise concerns that come directly from the workers actually experience on these sites. Issues that don't always appear in official documents. These fact sheets state that no taxpayer dollars will be used, that Advantage will cover 100% of infrastructure costs, and that economic benefits would be significant, but based on past suggestions and projects, we've seen costs overrun, unexpected utility upgrades, and workforce interruptions that ultimately affect both the community and the workers. What legal protections ensure that future infrastructure or utility expansions are not shifted onto taxpayers later? What penalties hold Advantage accountable if the job creation or sustainability commitments fall short? The documents also highlight water usage, closed loop cooling, sustainability goals, but in the field we've seen plans change once construction begins. Will the city require independent third-party oversight for water usage, generator noise, diesel emissions testing, environmental impacts, rather relying solely on developer reports? Are we doing that? And finally, the project promises thousands of construction jobs and long-term opportunities. How many permanent positions will actually be guaranteed to local residents? And what training pathways will be created for the Wisconsin workers and not out-of-state crews? And are we prioritized? On other sides, communication gaps between contractors, unions, and project members create real challenges. What systems will ensure transparent pay scales, consistent labor, and a clear point of contact when worker issues arise? We want this project, if we decide to make this project succeed, but want it to succeed with if we do this, we needed to succeed with accountability. We needed to succeed with transparency. We needed to succeed with protections in place, both for the community and the workforce. Thank you for your time.
Contract on the city site. There does not appear to be, Vantage does not appear to be contractually obligated to use renewables, continue with a closed loop system, as a prior speaker openly questioned, and meet the full-time job numbers. We need guardrails when billion and multi-billion dollar companies decide to develop in port. It needs to be voted on by the people, because once they have set roots here, we are no longer in control. Seriously, imagine a litigious dispute where we have to go against multi-billion dollar companies. We aren't winning that fight, and they know that. This whole proposal is more greenwashing. I find it amusing and disheartening when private corporations get credit for saying they'll protect a piece of land that would otherwise be, well, perfectly fine without human involvement or planting a few trees on their property. Data centers make us more reliant on fossil fuels because we don't have the ability to support through renewables. You can look at University of Michigan study on that last point. This is the domino that starts a vicious cycle of resource exploitation. This is the time when we have a say. This is the time when we can make a decision. Say no. Thank you.
All right, so let's get moving to the agenda.
It's got real short.
I'm sorry, were you registered?
No, but water is life, Minnewachucky.
Thank you.
And you're bringing death.
Please make sure to state your name and address for the record. You can give it to the officer.
My name is Jonathan, and I'm a Milwaukee, Wisconsin resident, formalist,
Okay.
Great Lakes, Michigan.
What's your last name, Jonathan? Okay, that takes us to the end of the meeting. Is there anyone willing to make a motion to adjourn?